Well, good morning again, YouTube. I got this hood all painted up, or primered. I masked it good. I could see how I mask. This stuff tears up really easy, so I just double layered it. But got the stripe laid out. I got the center stripe all taped real good, sanded, painted. I just did this one. You can still see it's a little shiny, but it looks good. The blue's real shiny next to it. I got this, of course, the door. I have this one left to do. This one's done. And I think I showed you this yesterday. I had all the back. But I've got this whole front done now. All the way around the door. Got the inside good. All this little white stuff you see is just where I was wet sanding it. But this door looks really nice. Hinges look good. All of this area looks real good. Stripes turned out kind of neat. Give you an idea what it's going to look like. Looks like it's going down, but that hood's got to come up about 3-4 inches anyway. And then it'll have a red stripe around the bottom and around the wheels. But basically, this is good. I started sanding up here on top. Found this paper. It was in the trash can at AutoZone. So I'm going to use it to cut panels and tape them on. Or at least that's what I was thinking about. It'll be good for something. I was worried about this roof having pinholes in it, but I reached up in there a couple foot and sanded it. It all turned out real nice. The door's done good. All this back is done good. All I really need to do is just cowl here at this door. But it looks like my paint my tape tried to separate right there. It's alright. I'll know next when I go to final paint it to put good tape on it. I did a little cheap blue stuff, didn't work. But this all looks good. Plenty straight. No orange field in the holes. Look like I might have a little bit of stuff left to do here in the front. But all in all, it's moving on. It's kind of got a unique look to it. It looked a lot better with that stripes going down the back and around the wheels. And of course it's just primer red, so but you can get an idea what it's going to be like burgundy. Well, we'll just press along. So been going awful slow. A lot of it's learning. The paint job itself won't be too bad because I won't have to be sanding and masking. I'll pull this masking off of here and I'll sand my primer and then I'll pull it all off and I won't have any trouble at all masking it this next time. It'll still be trouble, but it'll go pretty quick. Well, I started working here on this roof. I'll try to get you in here. You can see there's a, let me see, it's not going to focus. Yeah, it's kind of focused, but there's a dozen little places. Probably just look like a dark spot to you, but starting right in here in this area. Now I board sanded this with a 220, and I can feel it really good with my hand. A lot of little low spots. Big one here, one there, a little bit right there, just a hair there, some right in here. But this is, if you can see in the reflection there, it just not acceptable. What I could do is reprime it again, but it's just here in the front, from about right here to about right here, and they're not really big spots. So what I'm going to try to do is take glazing putty and be real generous and just try to fill all those things, and I think I can get all the low spots filled. Then this will sand down pretty good, and if I got something left, I can use some of my red primer, even if it takes me a whole can, rather than try to mix up this gray stuff. It's epoxy, pain in the ass to breathe, and then got to clean the gun and everything, so I'm going to give it a try with this glazing putty. Well, there's all the holes I could see in the light. Might have a little bit of stuff left. I got a little right there. I'll hit that real quick. But it all looks good. Here you can use. That's not the recommended way to do it. I don't even recommend it, but it does work. Rather, I've cleaned my putty up, or my applicator. I just put a super thick coat on that right there. It'll be fairly easy to sand, but you can just use it right out of the tube. Works good for little tiny stuff. Of course, you don't want to do all of it like that because of the sanding and waste, but you can see where it's dark in those places. That's where it was low. So when I get this, I'll let this dry all night, and then I'll hit it again with wet sandpaper and a board, and that should clean it up good enough that I can patch the rest of it with primer. So I wasn't planning on doing this, but I knew that there was going to be some errors in it, so I'm not too displeased with all these little low spots. Well, I got that door all sanded. I made holes in my plastic again with the sandpaper. That stuff, you can't work next to it, but it was good enough to put this primer on. I got a couple little runs in it. That's alright, I'll fix that. It looks good though. Nice and smooth all the way around. This transition from lump to nothing. Turned out pretty good. It's all good here. I think I'll just I'll strip this all this masking paper and stuff, and I'll tape it again real good where I cover up my blue. Like right there, I didn't get it all the way, and I got a couple little dirt spots where the water ran down. This looks pretty good. I can see it's nice and shiny across there. I got most of it. Anything that I didn't get, I'll just do a little more sanding on it. I started hand sanding it, it wore me out, man, I about passed out. So that's when I went to the board sander. All I got this little section right there. Put this chair here. Fall down, break my neck. But just a few square feet left in a roof. So, of course, it'll take me a little time to sand this ridge that goes all the way around it. And we're not even talking about 4 fenders. I'll try to make them good, but they're not going to be near as good as this cab. That's the part you look at, getting in and out of it every time. Fenders and stuff, they already got some dents and stuff. I didn't try to make them perfect, but there's Mr. No longer a rat rod project. Let everything dry. See what I can get done. Well, there it is. Just with primer instead of burgundy. Kind of flat looking. I've got some little bit of orange peel and a little bit of dirt and stuff in the blue. I did a real good job of masking it. All these lines are real straight. Maybe just a couple little errors in it. Never see them. But it looks good. I'll wet sand this and it'll get rid of most all of this stuff. All the dirt. Got a little run right here. Another little one there. Door's fine. See nothing wrong with it. So that's kind of what it's going to look like. Looks real good. Yeah, it's not as glossy as. We got quite a bit of kind of dust up in there. Well, I just didn't have enough paint. That was the problem. I should have put one more good wet coat on it and this thing would have been just flawless. But still looks real good. And the clear coat will fix any little stuff. But starting to look like a paint job finally. There we go. Got rid of the zoom. And so anyway, this roof looks real good. This back part's good, and I moved on to this. I did it again. Putting the finger on the zoom. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. But I found a couple little places here in the top of the door where it wasn't quite right. So I basically have covered this with that glazing putty stuff. I forget what you call it. Anyway, I've sanded this down, or starting on it. This is all getting done here with 80 grit. I'll smooth this all out, and I'll do this door, and we'll move on with the rest. Moving on to masking this. I did the door. There was no runs in it. I just taped it real good. I sanded it along the belt line. Right there was had a run in it, and I just started sanding this, and this is 500 grit, but it's got some dirt in it, or it did have anyway. You can still see it a little bit here, but basically I just very light sanded this. Just taking all of the little imperfections and stuff out. I'm going to go ahead and finish wet sanding this whole panel before I mask it for the red paint. That way when I get it painted red, I can pretty much just pull the tape and start spraying clear, rather than try to pull the tape and then sand it and then mask it. So I'm just going to go ahead and wet sand this with 500. It don't look like it's going through anywhere. So I think that this will be good. I might have to buy more blue paint and paint it again, but this looks pretty good. I don't think I'll have any issues with going through into the primer or anything. I'll just take my time and wet sand it with this 500. It should give it a, feels real smooth. I don't feel down in here where I haven't sanded. I could feel a little dirt, but here where it's sanded feels real good. Looks like I got a little work to do right in here. So a lot of work here. Got to sand this. I can probably get away with the trunk. I may sand it a little too. And I got this side to do. I don't know how the blue is up here. I've just got it all taped right now to keep dirt off of it, but I want to get the red paint on, but I don't want to cause myself more work than I have to. So I can just pull this stuff off of here. I definitely will have to sand it near where there was a little overspray. But Just a lot of sanding. I'll keep you posted. Well, this is all sanded. I can see a few low spots in it. I could take those out, but I don't want to sand through my blue, so I'm just going to leave them. The clear will cover this. Some of this in here I'll clean up some more. I've got a little bit of a few low spots here that I didn't really get well. I'll sand those. Feels real good, real smooth. So this took a little while to do, but it's gonna make the clear look real good. I'll move on to cleaning this up in here, and then I'm gonna figure out some way of taping this. I'll use my little very thin 1/8 inch pinstriping tape, and I'll outline it. Then I'll put a piece of 1/4 inch on it, and then I'll tape my main masking material onto that. I don't like to let this stuff set for days, and that's basically what it's been doing. This yellow tape stuck pretty good in here where the primer was. I can still feel a little ridge. I need a little sanding on that. But nothing really bled through or anything. I did find a spot here on the door where I didn't have enough blue paint on it. I've got a little bit left in a can. I think that'll probably be enough to go around with a little brush and touch up little bitty stuff like that. So I think we're okay. This fender, I don't really remember how much blue was on it, a couple coats. The other one didn't have as much, but I had good light over there, so I really poured a heavy coat on it. I think I'll be okay color sanding it. Anyway, I'll just finish up these little places here around that little door, and right here in the back, and then I'll start masking on this thing, and I'll show you what I'm doing. I thought I'd show you some of the details. I've wet sanded this with 400 grit, and I've got it real good around the edges here. I forgot I had the camera. It's probably bouncing you all over the place. And I've wiped this off. I haven't soap cleaned it or nothing, but I just got it real clean here. Looks like I need a little more right down in here, right in that corner. And that one's good. So I just have to clean up that little place right down there, and then I can start masking this thing. I'll show you how I'll go about that on a tripod. All right. As promised, I'll try to show you how I do this. I'm not saying this is the right way, or I can't say it's a good way. Now I went through my blue a little right here into the door jamb. I should put more paint on it. Well, now I got this little 1/8 inch masking tape, and I'm putting it where just a hair, like 50 thousandths or something. Just enough to where I can see the red. Just a couple hairs there. And I'm putting this on here slowly. I'm trying to keep that, oh, I don't know, 1/4 of a millimeter or something. But I want blue tape or blue paint showing all the way around, because I'm going to cover it then with oh, I have to do something with that. But now, once I've got this on, and this sticks real good, then I can take some of this 1/4 inch roll. I don't see the end of it. Well, I'll just make it end. There's an end. Got a couple layers there. Come on. That's what I get for getting old. Now I'm just going to throw that away, not because I like to waste stuff, but it's way too thick to use. And I'm putting about half of this blue tape on the purple guide tape, or edge tape we'll call it. Now I'm just pressing this on real good and tight. And that's it for now. That'll keep that. I don't know if you can still see me. I think you can. Change camera. So anyway, we just continue on here. I noticed one of the things that the shop is really bad is it don't have enough lights. Well, it's enough for, you know, doing normal garage type stuff, but especially with me getting old and don't see so well to start with, now what I got to do, this one is mask this, so I got to take this purple stripe line here, and this is going to be my main, where the main paint's going to be, so I got to put it right in the bottom of this little curve here. And this is on a long straight surface, so if I get it on crooked, you'll be able to see it. Good. Run this right down this edge here. Trying to keep a nice straight line, because that's going to be the paint edge. You try not to put a lot of pressure on this stuff when you're pulling it, because car all right, but it's stretched. Trying to go around this curve, I should have cut along the piece. That's all right. Let's get it up here out of the way. That's good. Now what I've got here is a good solid. This is going to be a good place for my try and do this with a tripod. It's going to be a nice straight edge there. You can see it on the bottom, or see it on top rather. The bottom is where I'm going to get it taped. So it's pretty, I've got it a little high right in there, I guess. I probably should cut that and pull it down. I'll do that. All right, I got this another piece cut, taped on, and I'm continuing with my 1/4 inch tape. Again, don't want to stretch it real tight and put it on. You don't want it shrinking and pulling up off of your paint, if you can help it, off of your tape wherever you've got it. Yeah, I'm just trying to go down this about half of this little 1/8 inch guide tape, edge tape, whatever you want to call it. Don't have to be perfect, it just has to go over it. There we go. Now I've got good dyed tape on here, and I got a 1/4 inch piece of tape I can tape to. What I'll do now is I'm going to try to make a panel that'll cover this whole door. Now I already know that my roll is only 18 inches. It won't cover here, but it will cover to about here. So I'm going to take my yellow roll and put it on here. In fact, I'll show you that. Well, I just continue with this 1/8 inch tape here, and I'm laying the edge, which is where the paint will be, right at the bottom of that channel there, or top of the hump, however you want to look at it. And that's where the paint line will be. It's pretty easy because I got it all sanded good. It's a little crooked, but that's all right. Yeah, it's hard to do this when you can't see. I'll just cut that off right there. I gotta do a little better masking, and I've got a run right here. It's in the red. I'm gonna have to sand that down a little bit. And I actually went through the blue here. I just got to patch that up right there. So I'll say this is good enough for this. And now I just need to put my 1/4 inch tape on it. Again, I'm just aiming for about the middle of the purple tape. Just the main thing that you want to do when you start taping for paint. You want to make sure it's stuck down good, because paint will run down under your tape. It likes it. It acts like a wick. So, and I already told you, don't put a lot of pressure on your tape. I watch Bad Chat a lot. Yeah, he talks. Says the same thing over and over. Me, I tend to, I'm gonna have to do something here. I have to cut that tape with this 1/4" piece now. It's good all the way from the front to the back. I'll just have to clean up this area right here. I don't know what you're pointed at. I'll just break up the monotony here. And I'll go ahead and try to patch this tape up here. I've got my, it's going to be a deal between me and the light. Okay, this one's plenty long. This one's a little purple one here. I'm going to cut it so I got a perfect edge there. And then I'll stretch my blue one on here. And I'm just folding up the edge of the tape there where it's got too much in it because I'm curving it. I'll make sure those go down good and tight. That's the main thing you want to do is when you're taping something that you're going to paint next to, really take extra care. You can do the whole car and be as careful as you possibly can, and the paint will catch in the edge and run. Speaking of runs, I got one right here. This one here is not really, don't much care. Well, I do care, yeah, but it's got plenty of blue on it. So now this is ready to, I need some more sand in here. I can straighten this blue up without, well, this stuff here is going to be red, so all I really got in the blue is just a little dirt in this panel. Any rough stuff will be here in the red. It doesn't make any difference if I go through the color or not. All right. Now I'll take the zoom back out of here. Now I'll go ahead and take some of that masking paper and try to mask that whole panel. Well, these things turned out to be pretty nice. They're just a piece of plastic with some tape on it. This one's starting down here at the bottom. I know these open up about this far, so basically I'm just going to start this one down here. I'm doing the same thing with this tape. I'm trying to go halfway in that 1/4" tape. Probably just see my butt there. And then I need to go about a few inches past the cowl here to get that to go down as far as it can. Got a knife here, I'll cut this off. next thing I need to do is pull this up and tape it. I'm using 3/4 inch tape. I just stuffed this plastic up under itself. And I'm just putting some good pieces here to out of my tape line, my paint line, and quite a bit of the tape to stick onto the piece of plastic there. Just trying to keep that tape line good, and probably should be using thinner stuff here, but try to cover that up best I can. Yeah, I've got some plastic under it still. Stuff's so thin that once you tape it, you can't get the tape off without tearing plastic. But that's all right. I guess I could entertain you with some tails, but I don't know what tails I would have. This thing, I'm just sticking it up here out of the way. Trying to put my blue tape on it good. And the excess I'll take it. Get this one too high. Well, we'll get in there with a little piece, an X-Acto knife. We'll take that one. And you can cut this tape if you're careful without going through into the tape below. This I've got it cut where I can deal with it. I've got a little bit of overlap right here. And I'll just cut through that first layer of tape, hopefully. Yeah. And that still leaves me a good tight edge right there. It's all tight along here. Piece of tape edge. Probably just get to see my bald head. I don't really have enough light here to see what I'm doing. Scratch the paint. It's alright, it's going to get covered with red anyway. I'll just use my thumbnail and press that up out of the way. That's good enough. So, there's the bottom taped. And I just move on to the next piece and do the same thing. And basically shove what I don't need up under there until I can get it about close to where I can tape it down. And that's what I'll do right there. This one's pretty close, so I'll Pin it. This one here. Be careful with this stuff. It wants to grab your plastic. So that looks pretty good right there. Leaving plenty of room for the tape to go on to the car body, because that's gonna hold it together. Yeah, you gotta be careful. I shouldn't have tried to pull that off. Should have just stuck it on and left it. Here. That's good. A little more in this one. That's good. And this one. Pull down here somewhere. Tape across there. The rest of this, one more piece I can get. Yeah. Got the plastic good and got my tape good. That's good. Smooth that out, just tack it down, and I'll have to, this looks pretty good. Tack this edge first. That way I can tear pieces off, put on that plastic and not worry about having to try to take it off. And I'll just bring this whole thing over here. Around to this area roughly. Just kind of trying to hit my tape line. I'm kind of pulling on this, is probably not a good idea. It's flat now, so I'll just go ahead and put my piece of tape in here. Notice I haven't done this one yet. I want to make sure that it's masked real good around the door. But looks like I got a, I can't tell if that's a hole or what. Whatever it is, I'm covering it up. No, that's a hole. Right. That should keep our red paint where it's supposed to be. All tied down good. Air hose is not going to bother it. So, here's one part of the fender mast. Well, I got a little place right there that's got just a little run in it. Again, this was because I didn't really have good light over here, but you can see there's a run right there. So I'm going to take my little tiny block here and 500 grit, and I'm going to just try to sand right on top of that run. And I know it's running from the top down, so I can kind of get in that area. I've got a little piece of plastic there. And I know about how much sanding needs to be done by how much I did on the other places. I can't really see it, but you can hear it. And then since I'm over here with the, yeah, now I can see it a little bit still right in here. I'm trying to be real careful sanding this thing out, because I don't want to get into the primer below it. But when you got a big run, this wasn't a big one, but it was a run, so you got plenty of paint there. And I'm just cleaning this groove up here. Just kind of sanding in general, because I know I had overspray right in this area. I can see my water's getting a little blue. So I'm just keeping this wet. And trying to get down in my little curve here. Little corners, a little bit tricky. Alright, so I think that probably got it. Let's see. Get my clean and wet rags. Try to get some of this off. Let us see what we're looking at. Dry it off here. Yeah, I can just barely see where the run was, so I got it real good. Didn't really get it good in this groove here where I need to put the tape. So put that in with the, sand this by hand. Maybe I can get around in that little corner there. I want this sanded good because that's where the tape's going and where it's going to stick. So the better a surface I have here, the better off I am, period. And I'll just take a little of this by hand. It's sanding pretty good. Kind of a small piece to be doing this with, but that ought to do it pretty good. I'm just trying to get this as good as I can here. I'm just now looking at it, I had good light over here, and this is a really nice paint job, so it'd be real easy just to sand this here with my fingers, because that's a nice little groove there. Now, of course, I'll have to just set this a little because that's going to get painted red. All feels real good. So, I just wanted to show you a little video here. Might be asking, why is he taking so long? And this is why. All these little tiny things all got to be sanded, all got to be right, no mistaping or anything. It's whatever I scored in here at this point. Now this fender here could probably be wet sanded. It's got just barely a little bit of dirt in it. But I'm gonna just do it good enough to tape it, and I'm just gonna mask this whole part, keep the dust off of it. Well, I'm gonna do this last piece here. This part here has not been sanded. Alright, I'm gonna mask this up, and first thing I do here is rub it real good with a tack rag. This tape is made to stick to paint, and it don't stick very well to dirt. So I'm just going to start over there on that side. Probably be in your way here. I'm just going to start with my little 1/8 strip. Put it right down at the bottom of this gap. I had one little place that went through, so I made sure that putting a little pressure on it, stretching it. Right in here, it's hard to see where the that one right there. Really hard to see where that curve stops and ends. Looks like I got it a little high. There, it's got a little curve right in the middle. And we got it right down to the bottom of this. Whoops. Let's have to put it on straight first. There we go. And then I'll kind of take it around here because I can. That's the only reason I'm using this tape. I could use a big wide tape, but this will lay down real good, and it sticks real well. We got a little hole right there. there, it might fill up with red. Let this one. Have to open that trunk and do that good. Got a little bad spot right there. I put a piece of tape on so I wouldn't forget it. So, and then what I do, I take my tack cloth again and go over the top of the tape, because you can put a lot of pressure with that tack cloth and really press it down in there. Plus it keeps cleaning it. And I'm tacking all of it right now. I don't have any bad spots at all. I can feel it. There's no dirt. There's no anything. Got a little bit right there that needs to be taken out, but it's all right. Once I got this in, I'll take my 1/4" tape. Run that about halfway into my purple tape. Make sure that the corner here is covered good. Staying on my purple tape. It's all good and tight. This has got a little bit of curve to it. So take a little more care putting the tape on. 1/8 of an inch is not much of a target. That's pretty good. Get around this corner. Letting the tape kind of bunch up on the inside. And I'm taking it back in towards the paint off of the, there's going to be a problem right there. There's a little hole in it. I guess I have to leave something for art. There's that. So this ought to be good now. I'll just open the trunk and make sure that this is down. I have to tape the inside of the trunk too, so I don't spray paint down into my window channel or my rain channel. This fender looks really good. I don't see no dirt or anything in it. Real hard gloss on it. So looks like the light made a difference. Anyway, I can open the trunk, fix these edges, and then I'll put another piece like this. I'll probably just go from here straight across with tape, bring this down, fold it over like the rest of it. Alright guys, this may have been a pain in the butt. Watching, might not have been. Anyway, that's how I do it. And I found by experience I don't get any paint leaks and stuff like this, so for what it's worth, that's how I do it. Good morning again, YouTube. Middle of the day for me. But anyway, I got this all taped off yesterday. All looks real good. And I had some holes right here that I fixed. Still a little wet there, but I fixed those and sprayed all of this whole piece here with primer. I wasn't planning on putting primer on it too much because it's building the thickness of the paint up. I got over here and I sprayed some on here by accident, so I quit. But this one here just needs to be sanded and painted or masked. Man, that's sure nice paint over here. I've just got a couple little pieces of dirt in it. Well, hopefully the clear will make it all look just as good. But this gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. You can imagine the fenders would be the same kind of red. And the floorboard. So anyway, it ought to be a really nice car. There's quite a bit of blue there, it looks like, but the red broke it up. And now when we put these big old fenders on here, this is going to give the whole car it'll just be a blue strike in the middle. That'll look real good. I'm finally starting to see it in my mind. Well, I got this completely done. I've got the top masked there. I masked this fender and taped it real good. Sprayed the primer on the body lines. I didn't really do the primer up here on top because there's not necessary for it. It's already been primed. And this is a fine coat, so it won't leave a ridge right where I tape it. So this finishes this part of the car. And kind of see what it's going to look like now. It's going to look real nice. All right, I got up here and washed this down good, and then I pretty much 220 sanded it, and it looked real good, but I had some little they weren't really rough spots. They were just where basically the primer wouldn't had a little orange peel in it, and I straightened them out some. They look pretty big, but they're not. They're really thin, and so actually I was really kind of surprised. I know it's got a curve in the middle there. It's a half inch rise, but I can't see anything wrong with it. Oh, maybe just a little bit, but and that's really nice roof. I didn't expect to get it that well, so that'll increase the value quite a bit. So anyway, looks like it's going to be a good paint job. I shot the first color coat on it. This is one good wet coat. This stuff is pretty transparent. Get some more light here. These made a couple passes here, but that little gun is really just not big enough to paint this stuff with. I mean, I can, but it's this got a little bit of dirt in it. You can see there's a ring there where Somebody set a steel bucket on it and rusted a hole in it. I rusted a little, see there, a big 5-gallon one. But anyway, I just sprayed a light coat on here. You can kind of still see stripes in it. But I made a really nice, good wet coat on this one. This thing is just going to look beautiful with clear on it. Yeah, it's real nice. Yeah, I'm just letting this harden up a little bit. I'll throw another one on here. I mixed up a half quart, and that's about half of that, so one coat. Going to take 2 coats to do that dash and those floorboards. I'm not particularly concerned about getting dirt on them. The floorboards are going to get a piece of rubber anyway, and the dash is back in here where it can only get dust. It looks fine. So I'll wait a minute and I'll shoot them again. Well, I mixed up some hardener, did a few pieces here, did this dash. You can see there by the lights in it that it's real nice. I have a little bit of stuff right here by this speedometer hole, but very little dirt in it. And see down in there, and it got a little bit of run in it. Most of that will come out right there around the dash part. It's not a very bad run to start with, and if it is, I can sand it. These running boards turned out good. Got a piece of dirt fell in it there. It's not the best, but it's plenty glossy. It's dust free right now. It's got quite a bit of orange peel in it there, but that was a lot of the pitting and stuff that was in this, and I really poured the paint to it. Got a little run right there. That's alright. Running on a running board is not bad. I got the outsides painted real good. So anyway, these 2 pieces and the dash used about a half a quart. This stuff is takes at least 3 coats to get the color. It's kind of transparent, so that means another half a quart. I can probably get all of the inside of the doors, probably this cowl stripe. I can probably get the inside of the doors with another quart, another half quart, and that'll leave me a whole gallon to paint the rest of this red. So I think I'll have plenty. That way I can put like 4 coats on it, because 3 just barely covers the color, and 4 will give it plenty of color. I'll try to not pour it into the belt line so I don't have a ridge, but I will put it on good on top and on the sides, get a good strong color for this top. Well, here's kind of a result. I did the doors 3 coats. Look real good. You can see a little bit of dirt in them. I forgot to sand the primer with 400. But this door looks real nice. Got a little dirt in here. Not too bad. This door pillar looks good. This all looks real good. I've got it back of the door here. All the inside. I don't really have a light, but this is all painted good. Got my bottom piece. And this all the back of the door here is real nice. I can see a little bit of stuff where I still need to do some sanding, but basically it's extremely nice. These things I'm gonna sand them. They just got a little too much dirt and orange peel, and I got a lot of paint. This side turned out real good. I drug my tape into it right here, my hose. But this cowl looks real good. All the dash looks good. Got all this A-pillar here. I see a little dents right there. Yeah, well, that's the way it goes. But this door looks good. Got a little bit of dirt in it, not much. Touched my coat in it right here. I got the inside of the door here real good. It's all masked and taped so it'll have a sharp line. The dash looks good in here. Got all this top part painted good. All this back part here. It's all real good. So the doors inside and out. Got them pretty tight down here at the bottom too, I'm pretty sure. I might have a little bit of dirt, orange peel in it, but basically not bad at all. Now I've got shiny paint. I can see a couple more little thin holes, but this was all done with that little gun and it didn't spray that good. So when I do the next coat, I'll wet sand this just a little bit here to get rid of any little dirt, and then I'll spray the rest of this with a good gun and tack it real good. So I shouldn't have any dirt in here. It looks pretty good from here. Pretty shiny. Just kind of pleasantly surprised, but I spent so much work on it. Yeah, one more double wet coat here with the big gun where I can really put it on. And this will look good. Looks good right now. And there's not really any dirt in it, so when it dries it'll be about the same.